No, I don't think everyone should be a runner, and I think you should be a runner if you love running, if it makes you happy. But I think everybody just needs to find something that challenges them, something physical, and something outside. And it doesn't really matter what that is. Like if that's hunting, great, that's fine. It can be basketball, it doesn't matter. But I think everybody needs to find something that makes them happy and that pushes them to be the best version of themselves. It's not for everybody, but for me, that thing is running.
Yeah, look, Jordan's definitely the key organiser. She's a really good motivator, really good at bringing people together. She's into a whole range of other activities, pack rafting, fishing. To be honest, I've not met another lady in Tumut who's so into everything.
Jordan the superhero. Anyone that knows Jordan, I don't need to justify that. But if you don't know Jordan, yeah, she just does exceptional things.
Jordan's such a catalyst for growing a community. It inspires people so much.
Being a role model for the girls, I think that's a motivator. And not just in a way that, hey, I'm going to go run this 200-kilometre race or run, more so just to show the girls that, you know, if you want to do it, you can go and do it. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Feels like a really long way away. Somebody from school sent me this video. Oh.
You're mad. Good luck to
I filmed all the kids and stuff. No, I can't watch this now. I'll get really emotional. I'll watch this later. Oh my gosh. Yeah, wow, that's really cool. Justin said, how are you feeling? I said, I feel pretty nervous. He's like, why? I said, well, because it's the longest thing I've ever done. He's like, yeah, but it's only an extra 40 Ks. I'm like, but it's an extra 40 Ks, even like mostly snow, after already having done 160. And like, I'm usually pretty tired at the end of 160 Ks. So.
My name's Jordan. I'm originally from the US and now I live in Tumut, New South Wales. Oh, and I'm a runner. Yes, I'm a runner. I'm a teacher. I'm a mom and just a general enthusiast about being outside and living outside. So originally the idea was go Cayundra to Kosciuszko. It's upside down here, and then I kind of started looking at like around this Cayundra, Cabamurra, Selwyn area, and then I thought, actually, that trail connects to the back of Talbingo, which then connects to where Boldra, where I run all the time, and then that's the backyard. And so the thought was, well, I can run from Tumut and I could make it all the way to Kosciuszko just out the back door and not really hit any pavement, which I thought was kind of a cool concept.
I think a little light bulb went off in her head and thought, well, this is actually possible. This is doable. So once she gets that idea in her head, it's hard to stop her.
There's no point sitting around, is there? Okay. Kids are awake and crying, so great. It's Tumut to Thredbo. I'm wearing my rain jacket. Okay. Yay! Woohoo! We left from right here, my backyard, and walked out the door as I normally do for a long run, about 5 o'clock in the morning. That's usually the time I try and run anyways. It's the time that gets me a run in before the kids have too much of the day behind them. But this time it was not just going to be 2 hours and then back. It wasn't just going to be over the mountain and then back. It was going to be, you know, the whole day and then the whole next day, or possibly the whole next day. So it was hard to kind of feel the enormity of it in that first few Ks. I started running probably when I must have been 14, and my mom was really concerned because I was on the computer a lot, like a bit addicted to it. And so she was like, okay, all summer you're coming outside with me 3 mornings a week. I'm going for a run. I don't care if you run or if you walk, you're gonna come with me, because it's, you know, it's not torture, it's just being outside. And I walked probably for a few weeks, and then I got bored of walking. So I started running and then found that I really loved it. Yeah, so my mom's been a runner pretty much her whole adult life. And it was a really good example, I think, because it helped me realize that having things that are just for you as an adult, it makes all the other stresses of being a parent, of work, it makes them manageable because you have a place that is just yours, something that you do just for yourself, and whatever that is. It is self-care, really.
I guess it's quite evenly matched. To be a good mother, you need to be in a good mental space, and for Jordan to be in a good mental space, she needs to be running. So yeah, I think we're on the same page there, and I think that's why we work pretty well together.
So like, I'll always expose the kids to it, have them there, have it be part of their lives. But in terms of wishing that they would be runners, I think it's a hard thing not to do, but I'm trying to actively not make them feel like they need to run. Cheese swirls. So good. Take back anything bad I ever said about that bakery. This is hitting amazing. Water. I might get some water from you. Banging a little bit of Spice Girls.
Are you thinking to Bodong around 3 hours?
Yeah, maybe 2.5. It's only 10 miles.
Yep.
So I'm thinking 2.5 from here. Funny enough, at the top of Yellow Creek Road, I got a phone call from somebody who was trying to sell me something, and I stupidly took it and had a chat with him. Who's calling me? Hello? But then dropped on Yellow Creek Road and just enjoyed cruising down through the forest. That was the fastest bit of the whole run. Like, it was the, you know, the fastest pace. It was a nice, easy dirt road. And then I hit the Sandy Creek track, which is just a bit of a, it's just not very pleasant. It's just mud pits and blackberries. At that point, it was about 60 Ks in, and I think I was about 7 or 8 hours in. I don't know whose idea it was to put almost 3,000 meters in that first 60 Ks, but it was really stupid. And starting to get just a little bit like, oh yeah, we've still got a lot more to go. I'd been mostly by myself, and then having another 35 Ks of that was a bit daunting. But it was still sunny, and I don't know, you kind of go into a zone and you just keep going forward. Weird to describe what happens to time, but it just evaporates. Like, it's 3 hours. Nothing really happened in that 3 hours except that you moved 35 Ks, and that's it. That's all that happened in that 3 hours.
I think they're very excited to see her when she comes up here. So, are you excited for Mummy?
Yeah.
Is Mummy going for a big run?
Yeah. Dear Mummy, I hope you have a good day. Love, Remy.
Are you going to give it to her and let her run with it?
And I'm going to let her see the stickers on the back, because that note will remind me of all of the new characters.
I reckon if you count to 100, she'll be here.
I can count to that.
Can you? Okay, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
We're here at the back of Tumba. I'm going to take over the escorting lead. Here we've got a 36k segment, about 1400 metres of hills. I've got my kilometre markers and for all the decisions we have to make. So when we turn right, when we turn left, yeah, it's going to be dark probably in 2 or 3 hours. So it'll be good to have a reference so we don't take any wrong turns. It's interested to see what her mood's going to be like when when she comes in, but I think she'll be pretty strong still.
41, 42, 68, 69, 98, 99, 100. She's not here.
Oh, here's the one. Here we go.
Mom, Mommy's almost here.
Hello, you pumpkin. Oh, are you having fun? Hello, Marilyn. Hello.
It's Ziggy Stardust.
Hi, Ziggy Stardust. Look at your face. Did you do some colouring? Dear Mum, I hope you have a good day. Love Remy. Oh, it's got lots of stickers on it.
No, I can't.
I gotta get my stuff out for a second. I gotta get my clothes out.
Mom, can I have a lolly?
Can you have a lolly? Sure, Maddie. Do you want a lolly too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you come in just a second. Let's see if I can show
Daddy,
you.
have fun.
Warm burrito.
How are you feeling, Mark?
Ready to rock and roll.
I'll see you guys tomorrow in the mountains. Okay, will you bring me something special to eat? Okay, love you.
Have a cupcake?
Yes, please, I would love a cupcake. Say cheese.
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 All right.
I love you.
Go, Daddy.
Because I don't want you to run on the road, okay? Because there might be cars coming.
Stay here, Ram.
I'll see you in the mountains, okay?
See you soon.
Will you bring me a cupcake? And draw me another picture?
All right, love you. See ya.
I couldn't complain because Jordan already had 80 Ks under her belt, so I just had to zip up and keep my suffering to myself. So far, so good.
Hooray! It's a bit of a vortex, really. It gets dark and you just keep moving. Kept thinking we were getting close to 100 Ks and Mark would be like, well, we're at 91. And then I'd check again and he'd be like, well, we're at 93. And I was really kept hoping that number would be 100.
Jordan did crack the 100K mark during our leg. She had been given a video from school. She did mention to me, hey, remind me at 100 Ks, I think I'll need some motivation to look at. And so,
You know, I was at that kind of tired, nauseous point and being reminded of all of the people that were excited for me to be trying it and the example that I was setting for just chasing difficult things. It gave me a big boost. I think it got me through the next 25, 30 Ks easily. Yeah.
And it got me so much extra strength and energy. So having a great team around you is the most important thing you can do.
Jordan's a teacher at Franklin Public School. She decided to start doing some cross-country training at lunchtime.
We started doing some training for cross-country and athletics, and then we had so many kids that wanted to just come and join up as well that weren't even, competing in cross-country and athletics. We said, oh yeah, we'll just make it an open running club.
Eventually more and more kids wanted to do it because they just wanted to run and be outside and they thought it was a great idea.
I usually am not very forthcoming about my endurance events. I don't usually tell people if I'm going to race or tell people that I have raced, but I'm getting better about opening up about it because I've realized people are just genuinely excited for me. I think I always assumed that people would think I was a bit weird or it's like I would think I was really special, which I don't. So I just never mentioned it, but I've got a really supportive group of coworkers now who've encouraged me to kind of just celebrate it and celebrate what it means to the students to see their teachers do things like that. I found out after the fact they were pulling it up on the board in the classroom and going, oh, like it's 2 o'clock at school, where's Miss Maki right now? It was cool to hear that. It was cool to hear the whole school was kind of behind me.
You're very lucky here at Franklin. Put your hand up if you love being part of Franklin School.
The biggest takeaway from me was when we got to Round Mountain, it was 1 degree, it was 10 p.m. and very dark. Run 36 Ks, I thought maybe I'll just do an out and back quick to get to 42 to say I've done another marathon. And after about 5 minutes of loading the car up, I went, no, it's a stupid idea. I'm done. And then Jordan was sitting down and just changing her gear over and the guys were getting ready on the bikes and she just said, I can't sit here any longer, I've got to go. This would be one of those little moments for me that would be, little voice would be in there going, it's time to go home now. I'm sure it was for her, but she didn't admit it. No, she kept going.
Nathan and I, we paced with mountain bikes through the jungle wilderness.
Jordan's burrito went through the radiator and it is a mess.
We did the graveyard shift from about 10 p.m. through to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, depending on what her pace was. We used bikes because I don't think I could have run that 50k with her in the middle of the night. She's pretty amazing. We struggled to keep in front of her, even on a push bike. We'd be faster on the downhills and she'd catch us on the up.
But it was definitely cold, and it did kind of go, oh yeah, these are the mountains. Like, this is not, you know, it's not an easy environment. It's not running through the streets of town. Like, this is serious.
The risk of hypothermia and her body shutting down after having run such a distance and then getting cold would have been a really real risk.
You feel it take the bike sideways, can't you?
So after the third or fourth creek crossing, I realized that my toes were super painful. That, like, maybe I was actually going to get frostbite, that I needed to do something. And I had 2 emergency hand warmers in my bag. So I pulled those out to put them in my shoes. And as I sat down to do that, I tried to undo my laces, and my laces were frozen solid. And I'd only been out of the creek for about 3 minutes. So it was that cold that anything that was wet was freezing again pretty much immediately.
The Gihai and the Valentines were quite deep and wide, so you were in the water for a numbing period of time.
I was running and I was wearing a 200 weight thermal, a fleece, and a hard shell. And that's just a level of gear that I don't usually wear. I'm never that layered up. At one point I asked them if they could make me a coffee, and they were like, no. And they were like, if we do, we won't be able to get ahead of you. Like, we're gonna get so far behind. You don't wanna stop for 15 minutes out here, you're gonna freeze. And I would have, I had a down with me as well, but I'd been looking forward to a coffee, and then I had to just kind of keep trudging for another 2 or 3 hours without it. And that was tough. That was tough, but coming down the hill, we got to White River Hut where Eloise was meeting us, and I could just smell the fire as I came across the little creek. And I wanted to just cry because it smelled so good. Not like something you could eat, but just the smell of the fire burning and that gum smell when it burns. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be warm. Like, I'm going to be warm for a few minutes. Came in and sat down next to the fire, and it was just like, oh, okay, I can do the rest of this.
Let's just go before I change my mind.
We hadn't made a firm call on going over the main range versus going through Charlotte's Pass.
Yeah, I went and camped up at White River Hut the night before, and
Hold up here.
did pop up onto the main range just to see what the snow was really like. And
Eloise just said, listen, I went up there, she said, I'm happy to do either. Like, I'm with you 100%, I'm happy to do either.
it was probably above your knee deep snow.
And we were looking at 40 Ks. And so we started doing the math, and my legs are shot at this point. It's 160 Ks in.
If we'd had the snowshoes or the right gear, we would have been fine, but it would have been a lot of post-holing through the snow, so might still be out there.
So we didn't do this. We came down to Gathaga and then linked from Gathaga up along the new Illawong track.
I'm glad we rerouted. There's still a part of me that wishes we'd gone the main range, the original plan, but you can't control the weather. I can't make stupid decisions just to serve my ego. Like, I've got kids, and at the end of the day, that was the most important thing, was getting back to them. So we went down to Gathaga.
You're hot on my heels. I think I've got a bit of speed up and then we're there. I met Jordan 2.5 years ago now, and she introduced herself to me through Strava.
And we caught up for a run, and pretty much ever since have been really great running friends.
She was keen to start a running group and community in Tumut.
There was no running club, but I knew that it was the right environment for it. And she encouraged me to start the running group. It's Tumut Trotters.
It's a good little community group that happens to run.
We meet every Sunday for a social run, and now every Wednesday as well. And we do speed work, which is way bigger than I ever thought.
She's not quite the Pied Piper, but she definitely drives people to want to be part of that community.
I never thought that it would be kind of the community that it is now.
It's the first time I've seen her slightly tired, but she was still moving really well, considering she hadn't slept all night. Yeah.
I'm loving life. Destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. That's okay. Why do we have to go up this hill? I don't want to go up this hill. That's okay. I'm 3 hours from a nap. This was a really silly idea, but it will be nice to have it done with, and then it will seem like a great idea. Yeah. 18.5 Ks.
Less than a half marathon. Done.
Done. Woo! 190.
Nice. Had to keep reminding her to eat. I brought in a pizza bun and I think that lasted her the whole trip.
I didn't have any real calories and it started to get to me. It got to the point, I think I was really struggling to even just run flats or downhills, which I've never been at that point. Like I've always been able to just, on a flat or a downhill, run fine. But that last bit down to the chairlift from Rawson's Pass, I was making Eloise count steps with me. And she thought it was real stupid. I'm used to counting, because I've got 2 young kids. But Eloise is not used to just randomly counting out loud. So we were counting together to 100, and she could just hear her giggling at the absurdity of it. But it was that point. It was, okay, I can take 100 steps, and then I'm gonna walk. And then I'm gonna run 100 steps, and then I'm gonna walk. You're so close.
89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
That's pretty brutal. There's a lot of steps. And it's steep.
The only time I almost cried, I thought we were about 1K from the finish, and I could see the buildings of Thredbo, and I thought, oh yeah, we're going that way. And then the track suddenly turned to the left. And I thought, no, I cannot go away from the track. So I was so ready to be done at that point. So ready.
Nice work, Jordan. Well done.
It was a bit surprising to kind of just be done with it. It's not like crossing a race finish line. So when you cross a race finish line, there's this celebration and there's this definite marker and it's this thing that has happened. But this was like an arbitrary start, an arbitrary finish, and then we were just done and there was everyone. And it was a sense of relief, but it wasn't the same sense as, oh, I've made it to the finish line. It was like, I'm just done. I'm done now.
I heard well done. In the 100
you guys did well. You're the top.
Congratulations.
I got 6 in the
Excellent.
Which it sounds negative. It's not a negative thing. It was just a completely different sensation. Like, I've done this, and now I've done it. Now it's done. And then got to be with the kids, give them a cuddle. Of course, Maddie wanted milk straight away. Straight back into mum mode. Yeah, there was no break from mum mode. No break, even at the crew spot where I saw them. It was mom mode. It was as soon as I showed up, it was mom, give me a cuddle. Mom, do this. Mom, can I have one of your lollies? It wasn't.
Quick photo with mum.
I love being a mom. I absolutely love it. I love teaching. I love being a partner. But it's really nice to have a few hours where no one needs anything from me. And then I can come back and I can take care of everyone else. And I love doing that.
Active. I'll spot from behind. Active recovery.
Get a shot across the room.
Thanks so much.
Oh, it's okay. Thanks.
Oh, you guys, excellent.
Running's pretty high up there. She's pretty passionate about it, but I think linked with the running, it's definitely the community that goes with it. So it's not just running its own.
Great to meet you too.
When it comes to running, you're always sort of benchmarking yourself to that person and thinking, oh, maybe I can catch up to that person. Maybe I can be as good as that person, or as fast, or run as far. I can't run as far as Jordan, or as fast. So yeah, definitely a superhero.
I don't know how she does it. Work, family, training, and then still achieve these really high aims, and in some cases some of the best running of anyone in the country is pretty amazing.
I mean, I guess I refer to her as a runner, but I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't know what you call someone who's really good at bringing people together, because I think she does that in whatever she does. But if there's a word for that, I can get back to you on a word for that.
So let's go again. Mom, runner, teacher, student, fly fisher. That's who I am. I think all of those things are a part of who I am as a person, and I find fulfillment in all of them. I probably overcommit, and there's definitely times when I go, I am doing way too many things right now. Like I am juggling way too much. There was that 6-week period where I did a 100K race. I organized a festival. I had 2 uni assignments. I taught the entire time. Then I ran 200Ks, and that was an absolutely mad time. But then the month or so after that was really like just fishing and taking my kids to hockey practice, and it was really relaxed and calm. And I like it. I enjoy so many things, and I wouldn't want to give any of those things up. No, there's one priority, and that's my kids. And being a mom is fantastic. I love it. But it's also not the only thing that I want to be, and I think it's valuable for them to see, just like I saw with my mom, that you can be a lot of things. Like you can be a woman who has lots of things going for you, if that's what brings you happiness. I get joy and fulfillment out of lots of things, and so I try and put all of those things together into my life, but I build that around the thing that brings me the most joy, which is being a mom. And then second priority would be running. And then my spouse is in there somewhere. Sorry. But he's maybe number 3.